Alright, so I wanted to make a video about this from the TBA channel. I watched it a couple days ago, the day before yesterday, I believe. And, Jason Black, TBA, he was making the argument against land-based reparations. And he was talking about the Bruce's Beach um, thing that happened in Manhattan Beach in California. Basically, there was a black family that owned the houses and a lot of land on Manhattan, what is today Manhattan Beach in California, back in the 1920s. And basically, the city council made a city ordinance to build a park, so they declared eminent domain, and they got them out of there. Now, when I researched it, they could have, the black people back then, they could have fought this legally if they had hired lawyers, but I don't think they went that route, so they ended up losing the land. Well, 2022, LA County is now saying that they're gonna pay out what, $400,000 a year to the family, but they do have plans of purchasing the land once again in the future. So the family's going to get a big payout from this. But Jason Black is saying that this is land-based reparations, and he doesn't want that. He says he wants cash payments. He thinks that's the way to go when it comes to issues like this. And my thing is this, all right? From a business perspective, okay, in business, land is more valuable than money, okay, because money loses value and land gains value. With land, when you build houses on land, when you build businesses on land, okay, when you improve land, it goes up in value. Cash does not go up in value. Cash doesn't do anything but go down in value because of inflation over time. And inflation always increases over time. Okay, that's why 50 years ago a loaf of bread was a nickel, and today it's like what, $3.25, $4, or $5. Okay, because money loses value over time. And you would think that Jason Black, being a business guy, he supposedly owns real estate and stuff in Louisiana. You would think that him being a business guy, that he would know that or take heed to that, but he doesn't. He just goes straight for the emotional reparations argument. And see, this is why I have such a problem with this narrative, is because for years black people and people like Jason Black have talked about reparations, but they never talk about how it could be sustainable. They never talk about that. They just say, hey, we want reparations, we want to see the government put money into black people's hands, but there's no talk about okay, is it going to be sustainable? Can it be sustainable? Will it lead to black people becoming more competitive in the U.S. economy? And I do not believe it will, because there's no stipulation in it to get more and more black folks to get skills so they compete in the 21st century. Okay, and I mean skills in all areas, blue collar and white collar. Okay, construction, technology, engineering, all those things are things you're going to need as America rebuilds its infrastructure in the 21st century. And those that have those skills will be the really ones who make all the money. And if you don't have those skills, even if you're given money, you won't keep the money long, because you don't have in-demand skills to generate capital for yourself. Okay, see, that's how I think over here on my channel. I don't go just straight for the emotional narrative of we got to get justice, we got to get for what they did to our ancestors and stuff. I'm a logical thinker. I'm not an emotional thinker. So I always go by what makes the most logical sense first. And I've come to realize that many people, especially when it comes to this issue, they don't think like that. They think more on the emotional side. And I don't place that heavy of an importance on emotions like that. I just don't. You know what I mean? I just don't. It's just not my thing. You know. But as far as and then another thing, it's like with Jason Black, it's like he wants to live vicariously through this family, okay? This family went through a lot. This family struggled. It wasn't just this family. There was a lot of the other black families that lived on the beach at that time that lost their land at that time, okay? Okay. This is their victory. I know, you know, we as a black community are happy to see this, but at the end of the day, this is their victory. They're the ones who are going to get money for this. This is not reparations to the black community, but Jason Black is transposing this as, well, this is reparations for the black community. Well, this is going to be the model. This is going to be the model in the future. This is what they're going to do. They're just going to give black people land, but not give them cash payments. And I said land is actually, because with land, you could build a house on land, you could build a community on land. And at that time, when you talk about Black Wall Street and stuff, Black Wall Street, that was freed slaves and black people buying land, saving up their capital, and buying land next to each other so they could build sustainable communities on that land. And there are many, many dozens of communities like that. And contrary to popular belief, the vast majority of those communities were not touched by race riots. A small amount of them were, but most of those communities were left intact. Go look up the story of Bowie, Oklahoma. That was a very interesting story, because in Bowie, Oklahoma, this was a black town, and in the 1920s, some white bank robbers came through there, and they tried to rob the black bank that was in the town. And all those black folks out there were armed, and they killed those dudes. They killed these white bank robbers. They didn't even make it out of the town. They killed every last one of them and got them up out of there. Okay? And they don't want to talk about that story. Okay? I mean, it seems to me they focus so much on like Rosewood and Black Wall Street, but they never talk about Bowie, Oklahoma, and how them black folks that was in that town, they got them they got them up out of there. They did not let them come in there and rob and defile their town like that. Okay? So, you know, I would like to see black people build more communities like that going forward in the 21st century, because that's what's going to happen, given how black people are being pushed out of a lot of these cities and a lot of these states like California and stuff like that by naturalized immigrant populations, you know. And what it is black people just getting pushed out of a lot of these places. They can no longer compete. They don't have the skills. They don't control the construction and stuff like that, so they can't compete in those areas. So they leave. They have to go down south. They have to go to other parts of the country. You know what I mean? And what we have in the black community is not a money deficit. It's a skills deficit. Okay, and right now, Black America does not have the skills to compete in the 21st century, and that's actually was harming Black America the most, is the lack of skills. It's not the lack of money. Okay, so with land, hold on, sorry about that.
Good afternoon. Black Channel.
Okay, clicked on the wrong video, but with land, okay, black people can buy land next to each other, build sustainable communities. Okay, just like other immigrants and stuff do. When they come to America, they build, Mexican communities, they build Chinese communities, they build Indian communities. That's how you compete in America, by building a community. And if you just want to keep staying intermixed into other groups of people and paying these high rent prices and stuff and this high real estate, and you never try to create an area of your own, economically you're always going to lose. See what I'm saying? So that's been my thing on it. Let me get y'all comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. I'm probably gonna do a follow up to this real soon. But let me know what y'all think. Peace.